We are back. I'm absolutely buzzing. We've been on a hiatus for 3 months. Seems like 3 years, but we're back, boys. And I'm absolutely fucking over the moon that we're doing it again.
Hitting the table happy. Hitting the table
Andy,
happy.
I've missed you, boys. I've missed you. We're back. Let's do this. How are we?
Do this. Very good. Very good. Excited to be back, Charlie, because you're right. It's been a long time since we've assembled, shall we say. So, yeah, looking forward to this. New show. Some interesting stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said in the interlude of when you go onto YouTube and you look, things have changed, but nothing's changed. We're just we're more relaxed. It's not as regimented. I think that's the way we're going to do it, because I think, let's be honest with the people in the chat, we've got Fuzzy Dunlop since day one.
Right.
Thanks very much, sir. Day one back, new backpack, new jacket. Get up. Welcome. We've got DVH. Welcome back, kids. Thank you very much. It is good to be back. We've got Ed Vic. I swear he's probably still in his prison cell, but he's joining us tonight, and they are finally back. LFG. Thank you very much. Back, Dan. Back to school. Yes, we are. We've got Efren. Hurry up, guys. I was about to take your name over lack of lives shows. Shocking. And then we've got Wayne Deacon. Hello, you sexy sods. Hello, sir.
Hey.
And the one and only Leon Russell. Good evening and welcome back, chaps. It has been a long time, and I think we've had numerous meetings. When I say numerous meetings, we've had 2 meetings about whether we was going to do this, how long it was going to go for, and the urge just got too much. I think we kind of all agreed that it was a good show. We had some good content. We got on really well. We just want to chat about comics, enjoy the time we spend with each other on a Thursday night. So why wouldn't we just sit back, get back in the groove, and do what we're good at? Do it, Pete. You're on like every single day of the week. So for you, it's just this is easy for you.
But I get to spend it with my 2 good pals. And Andy, I haven't come to you. How are you, sir? Are you well?
I feel a little bit bullied into coming back on the show, to be honest with you. I quite enjoyed not doing anything on Thursday, if I'm completely honest. But no, it's absolutely, it's nice to be back, and it was nice having a double notification. Yes, I am subscribed, Peter. Not a member, but I'm subscribed. A double notification to say that we were live. So I believe we're broadcasting not only in the Killer Comic Show channel, but on Triple G's channel as well.
Correct. We are live everywhere. Yeah.
What we're basically doing, we're milking Peter.
I love a good milking
cow. We're going to milk him for everything he's got.
Suckling on his udders. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, you did. But this is good. This is what we literally, us three, we sat down around the table, we had our notes, and we just thought, fuck it, we just get on, we chew the fat. It won't be structured. The show's going to be different every week. We're not just going to, there's going to be certain parts of it, killer covers and the reviews and stuff, but other things we're just going to go with the flow. Do you know what it is? Like, we literally sat, before we decided we were going to carry on with the show, we literally sat down for about an hour just talking as we are now, and we was like, this should be the premise of the show. And that was kind of it.
We were mostly talking about people, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's now they're in the chat. And it's a bit awkward.
It's going to be a great segment. Put it that way. I'm looking forward to it.
It will be good. It will be good. But there we go. So what's the chat saying? We've got Dan. He's already saying that long time no see, except Triple G, who's released 18 billion videos since the last KCS.
It's true. That is true.
It is true. It is true. Yeah. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Yep. 4 minutes. Not any idea.
How long does he know how long it takes you, Peter?
It takes us a lot longer than 4 minutes, my age, I tell you.
And there we go. That's what Thursdays have been missing. Milky. Nice.
I can't believe I used the term others.
Other, yeah.
When alive. Milky.
If we get over 50 thumbs up, Pete will get his teats out. And it won't be for the first time anyway.
I've done it plenty of times before. So, yeah.
Here we go. So
you're going to be sick, Charlie. You okay?
No,
it's do you need a good rift, a good barf?
It's like I'm like a little kid at Christmas. I'm excited, and I was a tad bit nervous coming back on. Doing it again,
really?
But them nerves.
Performance anxiety is very common.
It was. I gave it a little rub, and I'm back in the grind, hard as nails, ready to carry on. So anyway, we did mention, or I mentioned, because I've got fucking verbal diarrhea at the moment because I'm so excited. There are going to be
It's good to
certain
be back, guys.
parts of the
It's good to be
show.
back.
It's going to be back here. There's going to be certain parts of the show that are going to stay the same, killer covers, the reviews, and stuff like that. But there are other things that we will change along the way because, as I mentioned, we're taking Peter for everything he's worth, and he's got a lot of knowledge because he's been doing this for what seems like an eternity. So why not take advice from the YouTube guru himself? So Pete, yeah. How's it going? Pay-per-view and all that.
Yeah. Definite verbal diarrhea, as you said, Charlie. Let's move to killer covers.
Yeah. 7 minutes in, people are talking about my udders in the chat. It's making us feel uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
I'm enjoying it.
Pay-per-view, Peter getting milked. Well, and that is, I told you, the sections will be different every week. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, up first, we've got the killer covers. Now, Andy, how have we done it different this time round?
So, there was a rumor that there was bots that were voting for these covers, which, you know, I didn't believe. And then there was hearsay suggesting that because Peter is so successful in YouTube land and he has so many followers and members on his channel that he was getting the aforementioned people to vote for his cover multiple times for his cover. So what we thought, we'd just throw out the covers that we've picked, but we wouldn't tell the general public which person picked which cover. But listen, it's been 5 years of the Killer Comic Show. They know exactly who's picked these covers. And then we will raise the vote to see who wins, and we will let them know at the end of the show who the winner was and who picked that cover. Does that sound about right, boys? Do they remember that?
Perfect.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I'll go first. Spawn 362. Absolutely love this.
Spawn,
innit?
But you know, like I do like it, and I am a Todd McFarlane fan. I haven't read any Spawn comics out, and I think I've had this conversation with yourself. I think I've had it with Tom as well in previous years. There never seems to be a good jumping on point for Spawn unless you start at number one. It kind of just seems like it's never the right time. But this comic cover is insane. I think it's got quite a bit of traction over on Instagram as well, and you can obviously understand why. Great cover.
Absolutely, yeah. Jeff Monk variant for Spawn. I just picked up. Well, I got my recent Slag Crusaders delivery from James, and of the books that he sent me, I had 26 blank covers, sketch covers, and I'm like, what am I doing? Because I don't plan to sketch on any of those. But I've taken a penchant. Is that the term? We use a penchant? For the old sketch cover. So when I'd seen that this had been picked, you like what I did there amongst the three of us, I thought, yeah, I can see that being a popular cover, but not as popular as the great Scott Young. Guys, let's be honest. He's been doing his thing with the Amazing Spider-Man covers. I think there was 8, the deaths of Spider-Man type theme, and I think this was a stored variant. This cover, if I remember correctly. I just think they've all been absolutely fantastic. I think whoever picked this has made a good choice. What do you think?
It's hard, this, isn't it? Because we'll have to be careful what we say, or else we're going to give away who's picked what books. Because I'm not a one to pull me punches when it comes to judging other people's covers. So I'm going to keep it positive. I like all three. I love the glowing green eyes in the Spawn cover. Mm-hmm. Scotty Young's not really my thing, but that is an interesting Scotty Young, and I'm a big sucker for a bit of Transformers cover action. I believe if Von Hoot's still in the chat, remind us, Von Hoot, is that Bruticus? I can't remember what the combiner bad guy is. I think it's Bruticus. And obviously Starscream at the front. So yeah, 3 great covers, 3 very nice covers. I like them all.
And did you know, there's a fun fact about the Transformers cover, is that this is a cover issue from way back in 2021, when it was part of Daniel Warren Johnson's original pitch for the Skybound Hasbro crossover.
Oh, right. Excuse me.
Yeah, wow, he's done no research.
Well, do you know what? Like, I stopped reading Transformers, I think it was about issue 12 or 13, and then I kind of got back into it, and I see this cover, and I was like, I thought I'd seen it before. So then I kind of went through my covers of the Skybound, and I haven't got it, but it was like an old cover. So then I Googled it, and I don't have the exact full details, but this original piece has been floating around for I think about a year or 2 years, because if you look on the bottom cover of the original piece, it does have, like in the bottom corner of the right corner, it does have DWJ and it's got 21 on it. So
Right.
it's interesting.
Yeah, and like Von Hoot's saying, if you're all reading it at the moment, you'll know that Starscream doesn't represent what he looks like at the moment, because he's lost a lot of weight, put it that way. So it must be a cover from the past.
But that Scotty Young cover, like there's so many of them floating around. Like he literally doesn't stop. Like I get his email that comes through like every week, and he's literally he's doing something every single week, and I'm talking about 4 or 5 projects a week.
Did you see his mummy cover that he's bringing out?
Oh, stunning! Yeah,
it's superb, isn't it? I think it's fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
No, but I mean, there's 3 fantastic covers there. I think they're great. And with that Transformer cover, seeing that got me back into reading the comics again. It's still, I still think it started off great, and I don't think it's still as good as it could be. But it's interesting to be reading it again, because I totally dropped off since we haven't done the show. I haven't really read anything, but then I kind of got back into it.
I'm not entirely sure if I like this new format of the colour covers, guys, because I actually miss talking trash about the other 2 covers. This is too upbeat and positive for me, so I'm going to make an executive decision for it the next time we're on, maybe in 3 months' time, that we just back to the old format and we can trash the hell out of each other's covers.
I'm biting my tongue till it's bleeding here on criticising the.
What does everybody in the chat think? Do they agree this is far too nice?
I mean, my cover's phenomenal. The rest of them, dog shit.
See, I never thought I would have picked a Spawn cover, but when I did, this had to be the one. This had to be the one. I mean, it was just the fact that the glowing green eyes, and I do understand, it does look a bit unfinished, but I just think
nobody would have guessed that I'd have picked the Transformers covers, given that my love of Transformers is,
Awesome. But I'm gonna see if I can do this right. I'm gonna start the poll over on Instagram, on YouTube, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 3 covers. Do you know what? Like, if this doesn't work, let us know. Let us know how shit it is. Let us know if it does or not. If you want us to be negative, if you want us to fight each other and stuff like that, let us know, and we'll go back to how it was 6 months ago when we did the last show.
That also includes feedback for the show. So if you hate it, we'll just go on hiatus for another extended 3 months.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So yeah, so that's the 3 covers. We've got Jeff Monk variant cover, we've got a Scotty Young variant, and we've got the main cover by Daniel Warren Johnson. The vote is now over on YouTube. Give the vote a go. And then that's the killer covers. Up next, we've got the reviews now. Interesting. Now,
so again, we're changing the format a bit, Charlie, aren't we, with the reviews?
Yes.
So we're not doing what we've done in the past, guys, where we where we all go and read the same book and tell you about that. What we're doing is each of us just picking our own book that we want to read and then prattling on about that for a little bit. So I've gone with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 5. If you're not reading this series, you're missing out, because it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan, I have to say. I'm not really reading any of her standard title, but I picked this up because it's the Absolute launch and I wanted to give it a go. And I'm absolutely loving it. The mythology in it, the kind of the link to Jason the Argonaut's kind of monsters and all that kind of stuff. I'm absolutely loving it. She's got some great new powers. Her lasso is really interesting. She's got a funky thing going on with her arm. Yeah, it's just stunning. This latest issue is kind of the end of the first arc, I guess, where she's fighting Geek Big Sea Beast Jobby. Can't remember what it's called.
Tetracon
or something.
Tetracon,
yeah. Big Jobby was a better description, though.
Big Jobby, yeah. I don't want to spoil it for people if you've not read it yet, but basically Wonder Woman does something with her powers that I've never seen before, and it's just great. I'm loving the interaction with the humans. The issue before this, I think it was, she does a great speech to humanity, kind of broadcast to humanity, which was just brilliant. Artwork stunning. It's just an interesting take on Wonder Woman. Andy, Charlie, I don't know if you're reading this, but I know, Andy, you caught up with it recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
I did. Whenever I'd seen that you were picking this to review, I dived into all 5 issues this week, and just as you say there, Peter, I thought this was fantastic. It reminded me why we do this show, because it gives you an excuse to go read stuff that you probably wouldn't have done before. And every single issue of this was just unique, is probably the best term. The take on Wonder Woman is absolutely fantastic. The artwork is great. And I think there was a few moments that kind of like stopped me in my tracks. I think the moment when she sacrificed her arm was and apologies if nobody's caught up in issue number 3, but when she sacrificed her arm for the greater good, and there's a lot of sort of positivity that you would expect from a Wonder Woman comic. And I just really, really enjoyed it. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to issue number 6 if there's going to be a second arc. And I would even go as far as saying that this would be one that I'd pick up to keep as a trade, just to see if there's any sort of additional artwork or extras that you got with it.
So it's interesting because out of all 3 of the Absolute books, I know we've got more coming next week, but Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I absolutely expected Wonder Woman to be the one that I wasn't particularly interested in, but I think I like this best. I think I like this better than Batman and Superman. This is certainly the most enjoyable read for us, I think.
Definitely different. What about you, Charlie?
Do you know what? Like my favourite Wonder Woman comic has been Daniel Warren Johnson. What was it?
Dead Earth or something?
Dead Earth.
Something
Awesome.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, you had Absolute Wonder Woman, you had Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman. For me, when Batman came out, I was really enjoying it. Superman, after I think about issue 2 or 3, I kind of switched off. And I did say that I haven't read any comics since we kind of went on a hiatus and stuff like that. I did something similar to Andy. When you said you were reading this, I was like, I'm just going to give it a go. It's fantastic. Like it's the strongest one out of 3. Like the way that she kind of, you get obviously Steve Trevor's in it, the way that she's like kind of the relationship with her mum, that her mum never really wanted her. She was kind of like pushed on her. It's just her powers, the way that she's like doing different things with her powers that you wouldn't expect Wonder Woman to do. Like in issue 4, as we've said, if you haven't read it, her losing the arm, and there was a bit in it where it was like kind of like a sacrifice type of thing, and where they was like, you've got about 50 pints of blood on your face, like you kind of need to wash that off. I just thought it was graphically, it was great. I thought the story was really, really interesting. I haven't read this issue yet. I've caught up to issue 4 and I haven't read it, but I don't think it can be anything but great from the previous 4 issues. And I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's been fantastic. And that thing that she's been fighting, as you said, that speech that she did, I kind of sat back and was like, I feel like I'm one of the people in the state listening to this, thinking I'm gonna stand up and fight for everything I've got. But it was wicked, like really, really enjoyable. So I'm glad you picked it, Pete.
Yeah, it's a good one. Well, worth a read.
What a massive sword she has.
Massive sword, massive. It gets bigger. It gets bigger when she needs it to be. When she needs it to be much bigger and sturdier, it grows, doesn't it?
She wields it well.
Do you know the thing I like is that her Pegasus is called Pegasus. And even Steve Trevor couldn't understand that. He was like, Pegasus is called Pegasus. Yes, he was like, but it's great.
There's a few sort of funny moments in it, isn't there? There's a few bits that, like some of the dialogue's quite funny. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the chat. We've got great book. Who would have thought that Wonder Woman could be so good?
Absolutely.
And I think it surprised a lot of people. Like, as I said, Dead Earth for me is great, but this is kind of up there. Like, this is pretty impressive. I think Kelly Thompson did a great job with this. We've got Yannick Paquette said similar Ed, DC, Image, Boom, Oni and Kickstarter all pay more than Marvel for a cover. Said he got 10 free comics, bit of a rant in Insta. Not sure what that relates to. Anyone know?
Sure.
Oh, did you see Dustin and Guy saying he's not doing any more Marvel covers after getting nothing for them? Interesting. We've got J.R. Livingston.
Wow.
Maybe. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining. Hello. All 3 have been a success for me, and Megan Therion, I really wonder where this goes villain-wise. That's pretty interesting, to be fair, because it's pretty much been the same villains coming out of the sea for the past 4 issues. It's kind of where does this go? But then obviously at the end of issue number 4, you kind of get a step in the right direction to find out. And then, but does that carry over into issue number 5, guys?
it's the same enemy,
Yes.
and then there's a bit of a twist at the end.
Yeah.
Well, not a twist.
Really,
It leads to the next arc, I guess.
yeah, a really good twist, because I wondered if they were going to take villains. So this arc is from the sea, then the next arc maybe be from the sky, and then it'll all come together in one big
Yeah.
sort of massive sort of battle or something like that. Thought that'd be pretty cool.
Do you think that the Trinity are going to get together in one massive tie?
At some point, though, well, DC, Marvel can't help themselves, can they? There'll be some
Are they
crossover
gonna-
event coming.
Are they going to make like a super
Super
sword, big
Yeah, like Power Rangers.
Batman thing? Yeah, and it's all going to join together in one big massive.
Am I wrong? But have all of them got a massive sword?
Batman hasn't. He's got a big chopper.
Oh, has he got a big chopper?
He's got an axe, hasn't he?
What has Batman got?
Big chopper.
Big chopper.
Wait, what?
And what's Superman got?
No,
Absolute bull personality.
how dare you, sir? How dare you? He's got a fancy Kryptonian suit, hasn't he?
Oh,
A special cape.
So I reckon it's going to come in. I think it's going to be great. Connie, I really like Kelly Thompson as an author, to be honest. Thank you very much for joining again.
Me too.
There's been a crossover announced. Fuzzy with
right.
the bombs.
Nice.
Axe and a cape of dust. Cape of dust.
That's right.
ABZ Comics, yo, gents, welcome back, and to all, and Fuzzy, good, welcome. So so that was Wonder Woman. If you haven't read it already, give it a good read. Up next, we've got Nick Fury vs. Fin Fang Foom.
Believe it or not, I picked this, guys. What has happened to me in the last 3 months? I went for Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom. I do love a big dragon. At the best of times, and this is no different. I knew nothing about really Nick Fury or Fin Fang Foom. It just intrigued me, and to be honest with you, I just wanted to go for something a little bit different, and different this was. I went in with really low expectations. I don't know if you guys got to read this whenever I mentioned I was reading it, but I'm really no. Did you read it? No. Because I was really interested to see what you guys thought, because I actually really enjoyed this book. It's written by J. Michael Straczynski, I think is the way that you pronounce his surname. And it sort of kicks off with Nick Fury after, it's kind of in the future where he's past his time of fighting wars and things like that, and he's an aerobatic, and it sort of starts with that. They're in the plane, they're doing this sort of performance, and whenever they land, and this sort of mysterious character approaches them and basically gives them a job to do, which is basically the team that's fighting the war in China, between China and Japan. They're losing teams and they can't explain why. So fast forward to Nick Fury agreeing to go and see if he can help out, and effectively they establish that it's Fin Fang Foom that is taking these teams whenever they fly over a certain area. The artwork for this was, I enjoyed it. I thought it represented the period of time, like the sort of World War II era, quite well. I think the surname, it was Casagrande was the name of the artist. Their ability to draw aeroplanes of that period, I thought was fantastic in particular. You can see an example of that in the bottom right hand side. I don't think I'd ever thought I'd be talking about pictures of aeroplanes on the Colour Comic Show. Wow, how things have changed. But yeah, this was definitely a unique story. It felt like a proper one shot story that could develop into something different. It was kind of strange that you would have these two characters together. It's not something I thought would work well, but I think just the difference in these two characters made it work really, really well. And the Fin Fang Foom as a character was something that I wasn't too familiar with, and I thought this book really brought that character to life, and I'd definitely read more. So yeah, a big thumbs up for me.
Do you know what I see when you did mention this? I kind of see it, and I don't know why. It was just out of my comfort zone, and I think it was probably because of the fact I don't know fuck all about Fin Fang Foom, and Is it good enough to read to kind of get into, or is it kind of like you've read one and you're kind of like, right, I'm done with that, I'll kind of move on, or would
You
see
just
it
need
out?
to read. That's the beauty of this series. So this is a part of an ongoing series. Sorry,
Okay.
I don't know if it's an ongoing series or a mini series, but by Straczynski, I can never say his name. And each issue features a different bizarre team up. So the
Right,
first
okay.
issue was Rocket Raccoon and Doctor Doom. Then there's been a Captain America and Volstagg. There's a is it Hulk and Doctor Strange coming soon as well? So it's supposed to be characters you wouldn't normally put together for one issue stories. I think there's follow-up stories in each issue as well.
Okay.
This is the one I'm going to be getting in trade paperback. I think this will be a nice volume of a book with all of the issues contained in it. You know, I think it sounds really interesting.
It was like a kind of a strange what if type book. This one, that's the sort of vibes that I got from it. But it definitely made me more intrigued about these two characters to go dive in and see their other stories, because I thought this was really well paced, and I think those sort of typical Marvel comics that we've read in the past, where you're just like the story's a bit meh, that this definitely had legs, and specifically the ending, which I won't ruin, sort of it sort of gave you that, oh, I want to read more of this. So I think it definitely done its job.
And do you know what I think the off-putting thing was, is that it did come across as a what if book, and I think after, obviously, how many seasons of What If are there on Disney now? Is this 3 seasons?
Three.
So I watched the first season, totally went under the radar for season 2, and I haven't even watched season 3. And I think it's because I've swapped off from that I've kind of lost interest in Nick Fury and the verses of this. But the Doctor Doom versus Rocket Raccoon seems right on my street.
See, this is my kind of book. My attention span doesn't normally last to ongoing series anymore. So the idea of just having individual single issues with a contained story that I know is going to finish, unlike things like the friggin' Deviant, which I'm waiting months for a final issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The fact that I know I can pick this up and get a complete story really appeals to us.
I'd recommend it, boys. Definitely give it a go.
Oh, nice one. Just to touch on what Connie said, she said, I didn't even know they did a season 3. I think, honestly, the push after season 1 kind of just plateaued. They didn't really do anything. But you've watched all of them, haven't you, Pete?
Yeah. It's varying quality, I would say. Varying quality. There's a couple of good episodes, but there's some awful episodes as well.
A bit like season 1 as well was like that. Yeah. All right, cool. So you've gone for this, Andy. I've gone for something old. Frank Miller's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. So obviously what we're doing differently, it's not about reading comics of the week or reading comics 2 weeks ago. It's kind of touching on stuff, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, touching on stuff that we normally wouldn't read or we wouldn't suggest to read. But I've read this, and when I first picked this up, now I read the first one because I picked this up at a boot fair, I think a couple of months ago, and it was only like 50p. And I started flicking through it, and then I realised it said number 2 on the front. So I was like, right, okay, it's obviously issue number 2. Then I got round to reading issue number 1. When I first started this, right, I found it very hard. Very, very hard, because it is old school Frank Miller, black, noir. It's very, as you can see from the pages, it's very hard to read, hard to focus on. I think, Andy, a few years ago, we read a comic, and I can't remember who it was by, but it was in black and white, and it didn't really float my boat. I thought, you know what, I'm going to step outside my comfort zone, I'm going to read it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And it kind of tells a story of, I think is it Josh Brolin, who plays in the film. He's a photographer, and he's working for like some really fat, gross, horrible man. He's like helping recruit save all the prostitutes and stuff, pretty similar to the actual film. And it just tells a story of like how the prostitutes are living, and you can see the fat guy, he's like a dirty old bastard, who looks like he's been milked for all his money. Pete.
I feel attacked, I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
But it was something that it's more like a graphic novel, to be fair. But it was something that I quite enjoyed. I didn't think I was going to. And I'm looking forward to reading issue number 2, because obviously I read this online to catch up with this. But it's just old school comic. I mean, look at that. Look, the artwork in it. And don't get me wrong, like if you are one for like the bright colours and the intense like narrative and stuff like that, probably ain't for you. Because as I said, I did look at it thinking, this is going to be a bit of a head fuck, but it was actually really, really enjoyable. So I'm looking forward to reading issue number 2. Have any of you guys read Sin City or?
I've seen all the movies. I think it's 2 films, isn't there? And I I got the complete Sin City. I think it was called The Big Bastard or something, like a huge hardback book a while ago. I have to be honest, I flicked through it and thought it just wasn't for me at the time. So I've never gone back and reread it. But everyone says it's a classic, so I will go and try and read it at some point, I think.
I would say, looking at the artwork and stuff like that my immediate reaction would be, no, I'm not going to even attempt to go for this.
That's exactly what I was like.
Having recently been bullied into reading Kingdom Come, Peter, I'm going to stop that mindset. I'm going to try and change that mindset and be a little bit more open to reading different things, different stories, different characters. Because that really opened my eyes reading Kingdom Come, and my thought, it even alluded me to try and go and read more Superman. I know it feels weird saying that, but actually checking out some more like I think looking at more old school classics, I think is the way to go, and mix it up between the classics and the new stuff. Because maybe that was half the problem, is reviewing comics a week later, feeling forced to review those comics because they were new comics, when there's loads and loads of absolute quality, perfect stuff to read that's been done in the past. But Sin City, it's on a very long list. I'll say.
Do you know what? And it was hard. As DVA said, Sin City is a masterpiece. Big damn Sin City. He's also said the art is gorgeous. Do you know what? And Andy, I'm totally with you. When I first picked up this book, I was like, I've got no intention of reading it. It was 50p. I could not pick it up. So when I'm flicking through it, I'm like, I'm never going to read this. And then when we started talking about the premise of the comic reviews and stuff, I was like, why wouldn't I read it? Like, why? What's stopping me reading it? And then I looked at the artwork and I was like, this is what's stopping me reading it, because my brain can't function like this. And then I think I got about 15 or 20 pages in when you normally get to the end of the comic book, and I was like, this is quite free flowing. Like, this is quite enjoyable, and it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. There were some panels in it, and I'm like, the art is pretty bad, but it fits the narrative of the story. I think if it was to be like fine lines and really clean cut, it wouldn't fit how like dark and gritty this story is. I mean, I've literally just flicked to this page. Like, so this is on issue number 2.
Yeah.
The artwork is getting pretty good. And then he said the art is gorgeous. Theron, I said, what publisher is this? It's Dark Horse. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics, $17, darkhorse.com. Cover by Frank Miller, and the design is by Chip Kidd. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. Kingdom Come is awesome. Dripping with the film noir grime. Dark Horse did Sin City, and thank you, Doc. So yeah, but not only have I been reading this, I told you I've been getting back into the comics. I totally flipped the script and started reading Heroes again. Remember Heroes?
Oh, dude, I have that. It's amazing.
Remember Heroes? Right, this is awesome. So obviously this is volume 2, but I've got volume 1 as well. So obviously this is. There we go. Look at that. Yeah.
That an Alex Ross cover, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Sure.
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah.
And you know what? This was. When I started reading comics again years and years ago, this was one of the first ones that kind of got me back into it. And I remember buying this, I think it was a £10 or £7 or whatever it was, because I'd finished a TV show and I was like, I want to get back into it. I want to find out more, because this was kind of filling in when the episodes weren't on. This was kind of doing what the X-Men TV show should have done. You know, when the X-Men comic came out and then it was a TV show. But this was wicked. Like, really, really enjoyed this. Read that. Then went on and read issue number 2. So not only am I reading like recent comics, I'm going through like old libraries of stuff, and I'm really enjoying it again, which is thanks to you both. So massive kudos to you. Massive kudos to you.
I definitely think if you start looking at the classics and stuff, like, definitely gives you an appreciation for the new stuff as well. But then there's a lot of comparisons that you do. You know, there's definitely a change between, you know, the periods of times and the different eras and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I was going to say, we were talking about this on one of the shows I did last week, and someone in the chat was saying that they've recently gone back and started rereading the Frank Miller Daredevil run. And it doesn't hold up. So I think I've certainly experienced where I've gone back to reread classics and read them and thought, oh, this hasn't aged well. Yeah. So I think, you know, there are peaks and troughs, aren't there, with some of the books you go back.
But I'm interested to touch on your minds because obviously, Andy, you aren't a massive Superman fan. You don't hide the fact to be anything but you read a Superman novel, didn't you?
It was an enlightening experience. I love Alex Ross, so that made it more palatable. The idea of reading it, but I'd heard good things about it, and obviously Peter had suggested it as well. And it's probably one of the quickest reads that I've done because I couldn't get enough. I was disappointed when it ended.
It's a chunky book as well, so it's not.
It's it's got it's just got it's so thought provoking, and even though it is a classic, it doesn't feel like it's out of its time period, even if you're reading it now, because there's a lot of things that it touches upon that is happening now. And just the idea and the general concepts and thoughts that it provokes is brilliant. And the artwork, my God, Alex Ross's artwork is, the book spoils your eyes. That's the best way I can put it. We don't deserve that artwork that is in that book, and I couldn't get enough of it. And it's made me go down that rabbit hole of trying to, pick up every single version of that book and that series because I'm so invested. But I need to keep the level up, so I need suggestions as to what's the next one that I might not been aware of, Superman wise, that I should read. So I'd be interested in anybody in the chat has any ideas, and you guys just to let me know.
Action Comics 750. What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? One of my favourite stories of all time. Love that.
Okay.
Love that. And Superman for All Seasons is very good as well. Grant Morrison's Superman.
Okay, calm down, Peter.
All-Star Superman. Phenomenal.
I've got a couple of hardback books. I think it's like the origins of Superman. I think, when HMV used to do like 5 books for a fight, or 15 books for a fight, I think I just ended up here. The only thing when I was doing that, it was like issue 15 or issue book 2. You can never do it. But I think, I picked up some of them, but they're pretty good to read, Andy. Like they are pretty good.
It wasn't a HMV in my neck of the woods. It was Woolworths, where I used to get a pick and mix.
Oh yeah,
nice pick and mix.
Yeah.
That it's comedy DVD. Yeah.
Yes.
But Fuzzy's saying in the chat, All Star Superman. You cannot go wrong with All Star Superman.
So which one am I doing next then, guys? Like you've given me 4 there.
If you want a single issue quick read, Action Comics 750. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
750, okay.
And then I think All Star is 12 issues, I want to see, by Grant Morrison, art by Frank Quigley, I think. And that's just a beautiful love note to the character.
Yeah, the Death and Return arc was good.
I love the Death and Return arc, Dan, but I think Andy might struggle with that.
Does it have big words?
No, it's a multi crossover event, lots of different art styles, lots of different writing styles. I mean, the Death is superb, but it's a lot to. Red Sun's very good as well.
I tell you what books that I instantly put down is those books that have the little asterisks and says C and tells you like a book and there's like 50 of those in one issue. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. But I tell you what book we did pick up between myself and Peter to start reading again was Black Mirror.
Yeah,
the classic Batman. So I think 4 or 5 issues deep into that at the moment.
So and I haven't started it yet, but I've never read it before, so I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Right,
do you know what?
Charlie, get on that.
I've got it. I've never read it. I got it signed by Snyder and Jock when they was both at Thought Bubble. Never read that. I do have it, so I think definitely going to look in because it's just been there, and you've always shouted about it, like read this, read that. And I've never done it, so I think Peter, you can hold my hand through this, and we can read it together.
Yeah.
There we go. And also, this will get your juices flowing. It's getting a re-released in floppy format in a few weeks. I think they're talking about are they talking about All Star Superman?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. And another one for you, Andy, Superman Space Age, which came out last year as a masterpiece.
A masterpiece is a big term to use for a Superman book. So
not familiar with that one, Dan. Not familiar with Space Age. Well, Superman Lost, which was interesting, but I don't remember Space Age. If you want something a bit different, say you've got to start it. If you want something a bit different, I'm a massive fan of Speed and Bullets, which is Elseworlds team.
I have that. Yeah, I have Speed and Bullets.
Yeah, that's a really good story. It's Elseworlds, so it's like a what if of Superman crashing in Gotham, and Superman is the Bruce Wayne character, as it were, and his parents get shot down and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
I've got a lot of reading to do, lads.
What's that called, Pete?
Speed and Bullets.
Speed and Bullets, nice.
So basically, Superman becomes Batman, and it's great, really good story.
Oh, that sounds well interesting. Well, on the subject of Batman, we're going to move on to the news section, and Peter, you do this so well. So this you can control the slides, by the way, can't you?
I have control. So little bit of news. So just a few talking points, really. So this is the news that we were talking earlier about the different All-Star lines. We've heard from Snyder that Dick Grayson is going to be appearing in Absolute Batman. But as a grown-up, he's going to be an older version of Robin. So interesting to see him coming into the series. I quite like Nightwing. He's my favourite character. But it prompted us to ask you guys, who's your favourite Bat sidekick? So it hasn't got to be a Robin, necessarily. But who's your favourite sidekick? And let me know in the chat who you think the best Robin is or the best sidekick. I'll start you off with, I think you don't get any better than Nightwing, Dick Grayson. I love the fact that he's had a proper full character arc. He's stepped out of the shadow of the Bat, as it were, now, and is a hero in his own right. He's got a sexy costume as well.
Pete, do you know what? I've got to fully agree with you. So I would have said Robin years ago. Like, I think Robin was great. When Titans came out, the TV show, it literally paved the way for Nightwing to own it, to become his own character, to kind of run, because obviously he's kind of taken the mantle of Batman. He's kind of doing stuff. He was in Bloodhaven, he's come back to Gotham, he's kind of building his own Titans army and stuff like that. He's great though, like his costume, the whole aura around him. I think he's a great character, and I like the fact that he's coming to the forefront of Batman now. Like, it used to be Batman and Robin, now it's kind of Batman and Nightwing, and he was the original Robin. So for the fact that he's kind of come full circle and he's kind of gained the respect and he's come back as an adult and stuff, I think he's great. I do think he's great. But Absolute Robin does sound like an interesting arc.
It's going to be interesting to see how he fits into the whole Absolute kind of storyline, because it's a bit
Someone said
Rodney. Yeah. I was watching
great.
Over Christmas there was one of these, do you know these Channel 5 always seem to have like top 50 countdowns with really shitey celebrities from the 80s. Normally that Rusty Lee woman, what do you call her, who was a cook? Do you remember her who got the horrible laugh? Anyway, but that was one of them, best Christmas specials, and it had the Batman and Robin bit. It was just superb. How about you, Andy? Favourite sidekick?
So I went a little bit different on this one. I went with James Gordon. I know he's not typically a sidekick, but I think James Gordon is kind of a, like, he represents, you know, the good and the legal system. And I know he's not like a traditional sidekick for Batman, but he's always like alongside them all the time. And I think the both of them need each other to a certain extent. You know, Batman would have never, you know, got the sort of endorsement from Gotham's government if it wasn't for James Gordon. He sort of played the role of friend and ally, and I think the trust between the two of them is almost a perfect storyline. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like a love story, like the best friends working together for the greater good. So I went for James Gordon.
Do you think he knows? Do you think he knows who Batman is? The reason I ask is I know they've kind of played with it for a while, but I'm sure during do you remember when there was a Cataclysm storyline where Gotham fell into an earthquake or something? I'm sure my old brain remembers a scene where Batman and Jim are in a garden or something, and Batman takes his mask off, and Jim's got his back to him, and he kind of says, I don't want to say it, I don't want to acknowledge it, kind of thing. But it's implied that he knows it's Bruce Wayne. He just doesn't want, you know.
I tell you a better theory. Well, I say a better theory. What about if James Gordon is actually a dream and he's actually dead, and James Gordon is dreaming about what he would have liked to have been? He would have liked to have been the Batman. So everything that we're seeing is James Gordon.
Fucking hell, man.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is exactly why we stopped doing this bullshit. What are you talking about, man?
I need some drugs. No, I mean, I don't need some.
No, you don't. You really fucking don't.
So James, my theory for a good Batman story would be that James Gordon is dead, and he's
that's why you're not a
dreaming,
writer.
and all the stories that he's thinking about Batman, it's not in real life. It's just him thinking about himself as Batman.
But James is dead.
So he's dreaming. Well,
you don't dream when you're dead, do you? What are you talking about? He's in a coma.
Ruined it for me. He's in a coma. Yeah, he's in a coma. Yeah. No, is that bad?
I feel like I'm in a coma.
Mince. The guys in the chat, Fuzzy, are saying it's Alfred. It's always Alfred. Megatherion, he misses Alfred because he died, didn't he? Is he dead in the current one?
No, he was in a coma.
It was all a dream. Yeah, it was Dallas. Yeah, he is the only one he listens to. Anyway, bit of news on good old bats. Moving on, I just wanted to briefly mention this, guys. Now, I've got a feeling that this has come up before. Charlie, sorry, Andy. People aren't buying your no old arse. No, I'm sure I've seen this Mark Hamill one before, but we are getting into con season.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, the prices. So Mark Hamill, obviously he's a legend. He's a god amongst men. But for a premium autograph, £500. For a bulky autograph, and presumably uses a thicker pen, $700. And then you've got good old, what you call him, Clayton Crane there, who's got more freaking signature options than I've ever seen in my life, with different colour variations and different curly bits on them and all that kind of jazz. The thing that interested us about the Clayton Crane one is when you look at some of the prices of his signatures, for a little bit more, you can get a remark. And his remarks are pretty good. Remarks at the bottom there are about $105.
Yeah.
I think I'd go for a remark and just a bog standard basic
It's a
signature.
no-brainer, isn't it, really? And I think it's ironic that it's coming into con season and it's a con.
Yeah.
It is because you're going to pay $85 for a signature or $105 for a remark.
Yeah.
And
But, I mean,
nanosig as well. I love the fact it's called nanosig.
Yeah.
But have you seen that one? I can't remember, can't read it. Something murder signature, $150 for his signature, because each letter's in a different pretty colour. $150 just to have his name written on your book.
Not in my day.
And I know people get sick of we're talking about Thought Bubble, but it does bring Thought Bubble back to mind in the fact that you're getting those signatures for bottle. Do you know what I mean? I just thought it was incredible. You'll have also seen on the news, and I don't think we should go into too much detail about it, but there's been a lot of drama and excitement as usual because CGC have graded some Stan Lee signatures that are smudged. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I see that.
It's quite, for me, my view, quite clearly a stack of books that have been all signed at the same time, put on top of each other and smudged. If you look at the actual signature, it's very clearly a Stan Lee signature. It's got all the, but there's hell on because people are saying that it should never have been graded and all the rest of it. I'm wondering, guys. Mark Hamill, big hero there. Pricey signature if you want a bulky, nearly $1,000. What's the one person you would pay, say, over $500 for an autograph for? Or is there no such person? Would you push yourselves to get an autograph for that price?
A dreaming dead James Gordon.
I'll start off. I think I would probably pay up to $500 if I could get a genuine opportunity to stand next to Jack Nicholson and get a signature from Jack Nicholson, because I think he's a Hollywood legend. I'd get him to sign a Batman 89 related thing, and he's the kind of guy that I think is on his way out. I've often said I would have loved to have met Stan Lee, but I have to say Christopher Reeve, if I had my chance again, I would pay big money to get a signature off Christopher Reeve as well.
Me, it's totally out there. I would, a Batman Adventures 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn, and I'd probably pay $500 for Paul Dini to sign it.
Really? See, I thought you'd go Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say Margot Robbie as well.
Do you know what? Like Paul Dini, I think like the whole thing of the first appearance, the creator. Do you know what I mean? I think that'd be pretty quiet. But yeah. Oh, Margot Robbie, that's it. Sorry, I'm just gonna. I'll be back in 2.
How about you, Andy?
I'm very Scottish, and I would never pay $500 for a signature.
Would you walk 500 miles for it though?
I would. I like the way you did it. Nice link. Fuzzy's putting super grand there.
Stand back, Spider-Man. I love that. He's a love.
I don't think I could do it. I think the fact that anybody's charging $700 for an autograph is pretty mad. Like getting autographs and all that good stuff. I know that James T. Keegan's a big fan of getting autographs and getting things signed and stuff like that. But it's not something I would queue for or go out my way to do. Yeah. It's nice, as you say, to do it at Thought Bubble because it feels like it's not just like a revolving factory that you're paying money onto the next. It feels a little bit more personal and intimate. So yeah, not for me.
I've gone down a real rabbit hole. Another one. Of going for comic books signed by TV actors and movie actors that I like. So like I say, I've got my Michael Keaton Batman 89. I'm currently hunting for a Linda Carter Wonder Woman signature book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good old Wonder Woman. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So as the comments are saying, signature prices are wild. Fuzzy, if you've got 15 signatures, there's something missing in your life. Absolutely. ABC, milking it, yep. Terry's just saying Alfred's been killed twice before, one day. Leon, you'll only sign certain things. Oh, you wouldn't sign my horse. Fair enough. Don't apply logic.
Is that what bulky comes under?
That's what the bulky. Yeah. Don't apply logic, Peter. People can't take YouTubes about logic. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the usual ambulance chasing, isn't it? I'm afraid. I doubt Christopher Reeve would charge unless he was giving it to charity. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. But I would have loved to have met Christopher Reeve. 500 quid is 500 boxes of Jaffa cakes.
Oh, Jaffa
Never
cakes.
Thought of it.
Favourite biscuit, boys? Favourite biscuit?
Well, it's not Jaffa cake because it's a cake.
A cake or a biscuit? Is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit?
Oh, fuck, here we go. It's a cake.
Thing's a biscuit?
It's a cake. No, it's a cake.
It's a cake.
It's a cake. There's a clue in the name, innit? Jaffa cake. You know what I mean?
What defines a biscuit?
Well, if you dip it in the tea and it falls off, it's hard. It's soggy.
I think a biscuit's got to be firm to the mouth. Favorite biscuit? I don't know what they're called. It's like, is it a Venice swirl or something? But it's like thin line of chocolate in the middle, and then two lovely crumbly biscuits.
What about you, Charlie?
Custard cream.
You dirty bastard! Custard cream. It's like one of the most boring biscuits you can get.
I'm boring.
I'm going to demonstrate. Do you separate it and lick the cream out and then eat the biscuit?
No, I just dip it in a fucking tea and eat it.
I do. How about you,
and I do the same for the biscuit as well.
I don't eat biscuits. I'm on a diet, Peter. Stop it.
It's just dust. I could never afford that sort of money. I like autos quite a bit, but I can never justify that. Got loads of comments. Excuse me. The multiple colours of that signature, in my opinion, is probably not authentic, as a signature will not flow properly. Good luck getting it non-witness verified in future. Yeah, I agree. It's a weird one, isn't it? Exactly, Fuzzy. I want them to sign a refundable cheque for $480. I like that. How can he justify prices hike on grade when you can't submit? How can Craig justify the price hike on graded when you can submit a GSA? Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Fuzzy is the definition. Cakes go hard when stale, biscuits go soft. That's the difference. Tim Tams. Don't think I've ever had a Tim Tam.
Oh, good choice.
It's a bourbon. The Tim Tams are fucking bourbon. It's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon. It's a bourbon. Jammy Dodger. Yeah, Jammy Dodger. Again, Fuzzy. Again. That's a biscuit I do like to separate and then eat the rest. That's the action. Jaffa cakes don't have fat, so it's a biscuit. Food doesn't have fat. No, Terry, I disagree. It's definitely a cake. Definitely a cake. I keep thinking of American biscuits. My friend Efren sent us some some Girl Scout mint cookies the other day. They were lush. Party rings are
some
vile.
Girl Scouts.
Yeah, they didn't make the journey, unfortunately. Hell of a smell when they got here. Party rings are disgusting, Ed. Vile.
I was going to say, what about his favourite biscuit?
Le Petit Beurre, don't know what that is. Salted butter biscuits for dipping in tea. Rich tea and digestives for backup.
Sorry, rich tea is the most boring fucking biscuit.
You can't talk. You can't talk. You're a bloody custard cream man, Howie. Let's move on. Okay, on to sadder things. I don't know if you chaps saw this, but this is a guy who was working with Stan Lee near the end of his life, who's been he was his personal assistant, but he's filmed a lot of what went on during Stan Lee's later years.
I spoke to Andy about this earlier. I see a clip on Instagram, and I've saved it because I want to watch it again. And the clip that I see, he's sitting in a wheelchair, and he's just come out doing an interview, and he's saying, "Have I got anything else to do? Like, you're kind of milking me dry." And I was like, "There's a load more to do.
Yeah.
We're literally going to drain you." And he's like, "I'm giving you my blood." And they're like, "Yeah, and."
Yeah.
Is the same?
So that's it. Yeah. So this guy's filmed loads of that stuff, and he's trying to get it released as a movie.
Sad.
So he's on Kickstarter at the moment, trying to get backing for the film. This is one of those films that I will watch, but I really don't want to watch because I think it's going to break my heart.
Yeah.
The treatment of Stan near the end was absolutely horrific. So just to point it out, guys, if you want to go and check it out over on Kickstarter, please do have a look. The biscuit talk's going crazy. Please do check that out. Just before we move on to the next topic, party rings are awesome. They're not. They're dirty. All tea dip and biscuits. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Fuzzy. Wow.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be someone.
What do you guys call the bus units that go with gravy, like from KFC?
Huh?
So this is the thing. So when you're in America and you go to KFC, you get what we would call scones, but they call them biscuits. Is that what you're talking about? So it's a scone. We would call it a scone, and you certainly wouldn't eat it with KFC and gravy. That's just dirtiness. But in America, when you go to KFC, you get your KFC with biscuits. Yeah. I love a caramel log. I do like a caramel log. I'll be in with you there. Not sure I want to watch this. So also the director appears to have just sat there and watched him get abused. I think there's a lot of backstory to Von Hoot. I think the guy did manage to. Rob Liefeld talked about it today. I think the guy managed or was instrumental in getting Stan away from the abusers, basically, so that he had the last 6 months of his life was a better place, a better time for him. Biscuits, they're mostly an American term, weird scone type things. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, but it makes you wonder why he waited so long to release it. That is true. That is true, Fuzzy.
Have you watched the Superman documentary, the Christopher Reeves one?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I've done a video on it on my channel. You obviously don't watch. But yeah, it was super.
Members only. It's members only.
No, it's not members only. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's worth watching.
That had me in tears. It had me in tears. To be fair, it was really, really. Even Andy, with your heart of stone, you'd enjoy it.
Yeah. Daredevil chaps, are we up to speed with Daredevil?
Yes, we are.
Watched all 3 episodes. What are we thinking?
Yes.
What are we thinking?
It's fucking great. The 3rd episode, yeah, you can kind of see. Like, if anyone in the chat hasn't watched it yet, tough shit. There's spoilers coming because this episode, the 3rd episode, was fucking great. Like, I'm so glad it's returned. Obviously, there was talk about the Punisher coming back, and there was this and that. I don't know what you guys thought about this episode, but it was awesome.
I like a bit of courtroom drama, I have to say.
Yeah.
The end surprised us. I wasn't anticipating the end. What I would say, mind, I am don't shoot us. I am enjoying this. It's not blown us away as I hoped it would. I think you can definitely see that there's been some cutting and chopping and things because the original cut wasn't well received.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The first episode had some dodgy CGI, but overall I am enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next But yeah, and I think Charlie Cox's DD is superb. He's a great actor. What about you, Andy? You enjoying this?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I do enjoy those sort of street level sort of villains in the MCU and characters. I think I think it's been a solid three episodes so far. The second episode was kind of dragged a little bit. There was I didn't think there was as much. It was sort of filling loads of the gaps in the story and sort of leading us into other places. The White Tiger, that's the name of the what a crappy suit he has. Like John Travolta, eat your heart out. What's going on there? And Foggy, R.I.P.
He's
Foggy.
So we know Foggy is signed up to return next season, and spoilers, ladies and gents. Fuzzy and me were talking. There's a I can't remember the issue number. Fuzzy, remind us in the chat. But the case number that they mention is a link to a comic book, and it's The Secret Life of Foggy Nelson. And the comic book is all about Foggy going undercover witness protection. So I suspect he's not actually dead.
Okay.
Yeah, because they never really confirmed it. And also one of the son, no, not the son, the character who is helping out the Kingpin. He's like the young boy.
Yeah.
They're talking about that might be his son. His son is the rumor. But
okay.
Who is Adam? Do we know who Adam is?
First episode, I think it was one of the kind of the gang type people that she was quite friendly with. So she's having an affair, or she's having an affair with him. Okay. I think the Kingpin's portrayal is interesting. I like it a lot at times, and then other times I think they're playing him too soft. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm waiting for that traditional Kingpin flip where he's going to beat someone to death, or I think that might have already happened because we've seen him with bloodied knuckles, haven't we?
Yes.
So potentially he's already done that.
Yeah.
Terry's right. I forgot about that. The guy who played the White Tiger actually died in real life, which was horribly sad. And presumably we're going to get I think you saw his daughter in the courtroom. I think she'll pick up the mantle and become the White Tiger by the end of it. That's it, Fuzzy. Oh, sorry.
The building, that's what you was going to say, the building 6468 DDs 468 Sigma Daredevil Witnesses Protection hiding from Vanessa. Oh, okay. Did you notice, now maybe I'm reading too much into this, right, but did you notice, so the therapist that he's seeing, that he gets set up with and he starts dating, when she's doing her therapy book signing, you've all seen The Mask, Jim Carrey. You know when he goes to the therapist and he puts the mask on, he goes, well, we all live in like the world of a mask. Like when he puts it on, I swear she quotes that because she says like people live out different lives and everyone can be portrayed as wearing a mask.
Right.
I don't know if that ties back, but I thought it did.
I didn't pick up on it, but yeah.
Have a look. Interesting.
But what about James Gordon but no.
It was all
but yeah, we're enjoying this. I would just say, guys, I haven't got a slide for it, but just watched this season's finale of Invincible tonight.
Is it good?
Jesus, oh my life!
I need to catch up on it. I think I'm like 6 episodes behind.
This season has been nothing short of amazing. So in the last 2 episodes, last episode was the Invincible War, which was phenomenal. This episode, we've got Invincible versus Conquest. And it's just, it's mind blowing.
And it's still on Amazon as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's well worth checking out.
Yes.
We don't want to talk about this, gentlemen. But just to mention, there's a lot of rumblings at the moment. You guys will no doubt all know about the ridiculous tariff war that is going on at the moment. I hadn't appreciated, I read an article about this, I hadn't appreciated that the vast majority or a large proportion of American comic books are actually printed in Canada. Okay. So a lot of people within the industry are starting to get a little bit twitchy, saying that if these price wars continue and things continue to go the way they are, we could be going to be seeing a massive hike in comic book prices. Comic books, for me, are already obscenely high for people coming into the hobby. You know, it's not pocket money prices anymore. So if this happens, this is going to be a right kick in the nuts, I think.
I think we'll see the impact on both floppy issues and sort of hardbacks and stuff like that, because as I understand it, the floppy issues, because of the tight turnaround and getting them on a weekly basis, and obviously Canada has a huge amount of forestry. That's why they get them from over the border. But from a hardback and trade and stuff like that doesn't have that tight turnaround, they're mostly done in China, and there's also the tariffs on China. But yeah, will we see the end of like previews magazines and DC Connects, because obviously they're not needed, and will it push us towards digital?
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. The US-Mexican-Canada agreement, which previously allowed goods to move among the 3 countries tariff-free if they follow certain rules, that a product be made entirely in the North America. And ABZ saying cover price is already wild, tariffs will price it all up. Yeah. Latest news, Trump wants 200% added to wine and champagne from Europe. Mental in it. Mental.
Absolutely mental. There we
that's
go.
That's all the news I had.
That's all the news. That was great. I think that was very, very good. Very, very good. Right, before we get on to the pickups, let's end the poll. So in joint second place, we have Spider-Man and Transformers. And then in first place with 58% of the votes is Spawn. And the winner of that was Peter. Well done. Well done, Peter. Well done, Peter. Absolutely great. Well done. No, it was Andy. Andy, of course. You did very well there. Well done.
What was the one in comic?
58%. It was Spawn. Yes, it was Spawn. Here we go. It was.
I should be quickly retracting our vote in order.
There we go. And Phil, good evening, sir. Marvel also use printers in Turkey as well. Yeah. So we're at that part of the show where we want to do pickups. So who would like to go first? I think if Andy goes first, bearing in mind we haven't been online for 3 months, you might want to get the kettle on. But go on. Who's going to go first?
Would you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, go on.
I got some cards back from PSA. You may have seen this one on my Instagram at perpetual.comics, but I got a nice Stan Sakai and I got a 10 grading. So if you remember when we used to do the show, I bought a box of the creator cards, and this was one of the cards in it. In fact, there was 4 of them that were in it. I got Stan Sakai graded, I got the great Jack Kirby, and I got a 9 for that.
I'm sorry, sorry, Andy, I have to just interrupt you.
Go for
Charlie,
yeah.
Are you going to show off all of those books you're lifting up there?
Maybe.
I'm 47, mate. I haven't got the life left in us, man. How are we?
I'll pick up.
Jesus, I do apologise, Andy. Do continue.
I'll pick the
not a problem. If I'd have seen that stack, I'd have been saying the same thing, to be honest. I opened up a copy of X-Force 1 and got the Deadpool so-called rookie card.
Nice.
Now, not knowing anything about how cards were graded, I threw this towards Red Stars to get sent for me. Red Stars Comics, check them out. This got a 6. Not because the cards battered and anything like that, just because the misalignment of the black border. Yeah, apparently that's a big thing when it comes to cards. But
really?
I just wanted it graded because
that's a shitter, isn't it? Because in the comic world, that's a production issue. You shouldn't be penalised for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, it's how they've been cut when they've been on the sheet and stuff like that. So they look for perfection, the same width between each side and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I wasn't really too bored, to be honest with you. And then I've got a few comics that I picked up. These were from the recent stack from our good friends at Slab Crusaders. I got some nice foily goodness of Jenny Frison. And it shows you how long since I picked up my stack, but this was the 3rd, maybe 4th printing, the Dragota cover for Absolute Batman. Nice. I like this one. This is Adam Hughes. This is a foily Rogue Savage Land.
That's nice, that is.
And apparently this is going for, well, this and the non-foil are going for quite a bit on eBay at the minute, which was nice to know. A nice Jeff DeCal. I do like a little bit of DeCal, and this was a lovely
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Absolute Wonder Woman. Yep. Some old school that I picked up. T-Force. With a card at the back.
Nice.
So I'm considering, I had a look at this one and it looks in fairly decent shape. I was considering getting that sent off just for get some giggles to get
Nice.
graded just to see what we can buy. Some more Adam Hughes covers, so some classic Vengeance of Vampirella, and another Adam Hughes.
Ooh, I've seen that one before.
Some Wizard action. I do love myself some
Nice.
Wizard. So this is Wizard issue number 50, the classic Todd McFarlane cover.
Nice.
Really like this cover. There was something
Nice.
this is a recent pickup again from Slab Crusaders. I love Ahsoka, and I just love this cover. I thought it was great. I got some original art by I forgot the guy's name. Oh, come back to me. I'll put it in the chat. But I picked this up from. In fact, I've got his name.
Nice.
Back. It is David Miles Golding. I would recommend you go to eBay. This is where I picked it up, and this isn't a print. So this is original art. So it's sketched and coloured by David. And go check out some of his work. It's absolutely fantastic. He's actually taking on commissions at the minute for blank covers, and I think it's like 50 quid for a blank cover. And this is the sort of quality that you'll get.
Very nice.
So
wow.
highly recommend that. And then I got this bad boy. So found this for a really good price on eBay.
I was watching that. Yeah, I was watching that on eBay.
A little sketchy sketch by the man himself, Jock. We all know how much that he would have charged for getting this done at a con or whatever, if you were lucky enough. So Peter knows exactly what was paid for this. So we got it for a decent steal. And then I got some original art. You might have seen these before, but I managed to get them in frames, and they look fantastic. So I got some Rocketeer action.
That's nice.
And don't ask me to remember what the artist was. I can't remember. Fire from Fire, which is awesome. Again, all original art. These aren't prints. Got some Usagi Jumbo action.
Very nice.
James Boyd is a fan of this one for obvious reasons. And then some Judge Anderson action.
Nice.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my pickups.
Peter, would you like
Very
me to go, or
nice.
do you want to go?
Whatever you want, mate. Whatever you want. I've got some stuff. You've got some stuff. Not bad.
All right, cool. So I met a guy, very nice guy, whose
You dirty old man.
whose father-in-law had over 25,000 comics. And he was selling them to get rid of them and stuff like that. And I kind of struck a good deal, managed to pick up the majority of these comics for £1. So I'll just breeze through them because I've already been told off by Peter. So I got this Harley Quinn Flash,
Boring.
Harley Quinn, Green Arrow, Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn Superman, Harley Quinn JLA, Harley Quinn Justice League.
Is it all? Hang on. Is it all the same cover? What's
Harley Quinn Wonder Woman. Yeah, they're all different, but they just got Harley Quinn Little Black Book.
But it's the same Harley Quinn, isn't it?
It's the same. It's the same
Yeah,
cover.
it was £1. This was £1. This is obviously the
That's
Batman.
nice. I like that one, mate. That's
Variant
nice.
cover. So I'm picking up next week. I'm picking up the trade and the black and white version of this.
Is that Bruce Timm art cover?
Yeah.
Cover up.
It's nice. That I like that one.
That's awesome.
Then we've got the Looney Tunes crossover, Batman and Thud.
Nice.
We've got Death in a Family. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I picked up these. I think I picked up this one.
Nice. Very good.
That one.
Jock.
That one.
Jock.
That one. That one.
I like that one. Yeah.
That one.
That's a good pickup.
There we go. That one. Yep. And then I ended up picking up so much J. Scott Campbell. So, and these were all £1. This one was actually £25.50. Got it for £1.
Are you not showing off the 880?
I don't know where it is.
Of all the comics, I thought you'd have shown that one.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, I got this one for £1 as well. There we go.
£1? He paid £1 for that?
A pound for that.
I'm so jealous.
There's that one. So yeah, J. Scott Campbell got that. That one.
Is that foil on the skirt?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just coloured. Right?
Oh, it's nice.
That one. This one.
That's nice.
I have that one. That's a good one.
Jean Grey, J. Scott Campbell exclusive.
Speaking of J. Scott Campbell, see he's doing a drop on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
going to be expensive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with these, where I've got these, I'm not just talking about like the guy had one of these. The guy had like 15 of them. Like he had one of everything. So like he had the connecting covers for these. They're all like, this is basically J. Scott Campbell 12 got all never been opened, and they're going for £1 because they just wanted to get rid of them. So I was kind
Peter,
of like,
did you get the message to?
No, I missed that message.
message.
Yeah.
He didn't. He fucking did. Got that one. J. Scott Campbell there. Red Sonja. Everyone loves a bit of Red Sonja.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Secret Empire.
Oh, that's nice. What's he there?
Black Cat. Spider-Man.
All for £1?
All for £1. Another Spider-Man.
Nice.
Vampirella.
That's nice. That's a 1 in 10, I think.
Yeah. That one. Another Spider-Man. And then that one. This is a hefty book, this one. Renew Your Vows.
There was only one first print Deadman of 880, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, okay. And then that one. And I've got more J. Scott Campbell to pick up next week, which I'm looking forward to doing. Yeah, so sorry for wasting all your time then. But yeah, there we go. There were my pickups, and I'll have more next week. But
Great pickups.
Very
Mate.
nice. Very nice.
Honestly,
Landed on
went
your
like
feet
for
there.
£1. Yeah,
Well,
honestly.
you can't argue for that, can you?
So, what was your thought process when you found the 880? The person that was selling it obviously hadn't a clue what it was, and
it was to stop sweating profoundly, keep my mouth shut, and just put it in the pound pile, which is what I did.
Really? Was it one of those ones where you like tucked it in between a pile and just said, "Oh"?
I looked at it and was like, because when I went there, he had boxes lined up: £1, £5, £15, eBay, and the ones he was putting on eBay were like going for like 30, 40 quids and stuff. When I see that, and I was like, okay, put that there, and my instantly first thought was, Andy has this. Fuck. I was like, what? I don't know. I didn't know how much it was, so I was like, right, fuck, I'll just put it in the pound. Then when he was adding it up and stuff like that, he was like, yeah, it is what it is. And I was like, sweet, okay. Then he sent me another list when I left that night, and I was like, just yes, just take them all.
The poor guy's looking through his eBay box at the minute. He's going, what the fuck is that? I can't find it.
Yeah. But I've got loads, and I literally just said to Michelle, I was like, I'm out on Tuesday. She was like, where are you going? I was like, to get more comics. She was like, okay, fair enough.
Very
yeah.
good.
Oh,
very good. Very good.
But yes, Peter.
What about you?
Just a few things. Some of the people who watch my channel will have seen these ones already, but just to mention, got a gizmo.
Wicked, man. That's fucking awesome.
He's lush. He is very, very cute.
That is awesome.
So, picked him up.
Do you have to be a member to watch that video, Pete?
No. Yes. Sorry?
Was that a member video? Because I was watching it and then it unmembered.
Yeah, I fucked it up. I didn't know how to do it properly, so I pressed the wrong button or some shit.
So there was a part in that video where you stroked your face against Gizmo, if I remember. Oh, it was great. I enjoyed it.
He used to call me Gizmo.
Marvel Project Blank. I just like these ones because they've got all the characters on. So
they did a few of them, didn't they?
Yeah, you can stick any character you want on there. I think I picked this one up. Do you know, I buy stuff and I don't know why. I bought this one, I think, to go with some of my new action figures.
Oh, that's cool.
I just like the animated Batman.
Yeah, that's
both those figures. That the Batman you've got behind you, Andy, you know.
The Mondo ones, yeah.
So I like that.
Or that one. Yeah.
Justice League. This is the first Crime Syndicate. So I got this for a decent price. Going to feature, I think, in the new Superman movie. So yeah, got that. First,
I have that. That's...
Weapon Hulk.
Yeah.
Weapon H, I think it's called, or something like that.
Weapon H, yeah.
This is an interesting one. You know who the first appearance is in this?
I do, because I just sold one on eBay. Did you buy it?
No. In continuity, Batman Beyond.
Batman
So
Beyond,
it's the first Batman Beyond. Gwenpool. First Gwenpool.
Gwenpool, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah. First Amadeus Cho.
That's a good
Totally
book.
awesome. Hulk.
Yeah.
I've got a few copies of that. I've got a few graded of that. And then I had one of these, and then I sold it, and then I saw it for a steal on another page, and I thought, oh, it's a good nick. I have to pick it up. So that's the first appearance of Wolverine, but in the UK version.
Is that, and that's the original face, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a few of
Was
them
this-
as well, the bigger ones.
Yeah. So that's the first appearance. Marvel. So
Nice.
yeah, quite like that.
Where
Great,
did you
great
pick these
condition
up?
book. I got the various places. I got this from the Comic Mock Exclusives Facebook group. He popped that up. So I got that, and I got the issue before that, 197. So yeah, this
I
is
was
a
on that
better
group
nick.
for a week and then I left.
Aye. So yeah, I've got more pickups, but I'll show them other times. Got tons of stuff. Yeah.
Wicked.
Nice.
Wicked.
Enjoy.
It's been a good show, boys. It's been a really, really good show. I think obviously we are in talks whether we do it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, but we'll touch base on that and see how it goes. As always, it's been fucking awesome to be back. I'm not going to lie, I have missed it, and I do. It has been great, and I look forward to just sitting down, chilling with you two again, and talking to people in the chat. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you think there's anything we can add to the show, let us know. Drop us on our socials, or also drop us a message individually, and we'll get back to you. Anything else, guys? I think that's about it.
That's what we're doing.
I think we said probably every couple of weeks we'll definitely have a good show every couple of weeks. I think we'll try our best to jump on when we can in between that, but I think definitely every 2 weeks is we're going to dip our toe back into the waters, as it were. But yeah, we'd love your feedback, and if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to Triple G Above and to the Killer Comics Show.
Nice one, guys, and that's it. And we shall see you. Oh, is there one more comment? It says, Edvic, we didn't get over 50 likes for the full teach, but what does 9 of us get? Absolutely nothing. Doesn't get you anything. It's a shame. And on that note, guys, it's been emotional. We shall see you soon. Ta-ra.
Bye.